Hey guys, kinggath here with another patch for Sim Settlements 2 and Workshop Framework. This is patch 3.6.1, which I'm calling Remnants and Reinforcements. Now, this is actually more of a Workshop Framework glory day than a SS2, but we'll get into that in just a moment. First, we're going to thank our patrons. You guys are awesome. You guys are helping cover the bills around here for all of the software as a service type things, our websites, our email, etc. So huge shout out and thanks to Chicken Lo Mein and DM Andy. You guys rock. Thank you guys for helping out. All right, let's get into the patch notes. So for the SS2 specific things, there's a couple of fixes here, but only one of them worth mentioning that's SS2 explicitly, and that is the zero caps HUD bug. So some of you guys may have noticed after the last patch that no matter how many caps your settlement had built up in its virtual storage, it would always show 0 up there. It actually was still functioning behind the scenes like you had caps. You just didn't get a visual notification up there. That visual has now been fixed. So the bigger fix that we have is actually in Workshop Framework, which actually went into its 2.5.0 patch. And that is because the assault system that Chapter 3 uses is actually contained, the foundation of it is contained in Workshop Framework. And we have had a bug in there for quite a while that I finally found. Turned out to be a very dumb coding bug, but all that to say, it is now fixed. So the two things that would have been impacted by this, one is the Brotherhood and Institute Remnants. If you got to that point in your story and you've got the quest just stuck, you couldn't complete it, it was because of this bug. And the second one, this is one that I know a lot of folks have dealt with over the years with Chapter 3, is that the enemy reinforcements would never actually show up, or it could take seemingly half an hour. It would seem like it would take forever. Generally, people would eventually find them by just hunting in a circle around the assault location, and that should be resolved now. I actually did a lot of testing with this myself on my save. Those of you who watched saw how quickly the reinforcements were showing up now, so that bug should be fixed as well. All of that, of course, requires that you grab the Workshop Framework update, which not only does it have this assault fix in there, but thanks to C. Dante, we finally have the Workshop Framework DLL updated. This has been a long time coming. We had been waiting to mess around with this until after we were sure Bethesda was done patching Fallout 4. And since they finally put out the Xbox update, we assume that this is going to go quiet for a while, so now it was time to update that. So those of you who are on the latest edition of Fallout 4, you're using F4 SE, you can now use the Workshop Framework DLL again. So that will restore two things, and things you may have not even noticed you were missing. But one of them is that Workshop Framework has an auto repair for the power grid. So there is a deep bug in Fallout 4 where you can end up with a corruption in your power grid, and then when you arrive at settlements and start changing things, and usually it's when you scrap things, it's what we used to call it, the scrap crash, or if you modify your power grid in any way. So that can be things like toggling a power thing on and off, or running a new wire, or scrapping a wire. Any of those types of things could cause a crash in your game under certain circumstances, and it's due to the power grids having corrupt items in them. And so we have a automated fix for that. Every time you arrive in your settlement, Workshop Framework will scrub your power grids and make sure there's no bad data in them, so that by the time you get to a point where you're interacting with your settlement, your grid will already be cleared of any of those bugs. So that is now in place once again for people on the latest edition of Fallout 4. And if you are on an older version of Fallout 4, you want to make sure you grab the what we call the old gen replacers. It's an optional file on the Nexus page there. And again, this is only for people who are downloading from Nexus, because if you're downloading from Bethesda.net, it means you're already on the latest version of the game anyway. The other thing that it brings forward is Workshop Framework layout export. So this allows you to export your settlement. And speaking of which, for those of you guys who want to distribute your Workshop Framework layouts or turn them into city plans, I recently redid the tools, the online tools for that. So if you head to tools.simsettlements.com, you will find a new interface with dark mode. That is something a lot of people have been requesting, because I tend to like really bright websites, and everybody else I know prefers dark mode. These new tools they should be functionally identical to the old ones. They will take your Workshop Framework exports and generate you new mods that have your city plans or your Workshop Framework layouts in them, so that you can use them in future saves or distribute them to others as mods. And they do work on Xbox as well. So you can, even though only PC players with F4SE can export a layout, anybody can import one, including on Xbox. So that tool has always been there, but now it's improved. So tools.simsettlements.com. One of the things we improved it for is those of you who are super users, you may have noticed if you try and upload a really, really gigantic settlement, like one where you've went way, way, way beyond the build limit, you could get server errors when you tried to upload those to the old tool. Well, this new tool is a lot more robust, and it should be able to handle even your craziest log files. So very excited to get that tool out. Definitely report any issues you guys find with it. This is something that I'm learning a new framework for coding, and so I decided that would be a good experiment for it. Now, for those of you who are used to the old tools, those are still up there. You can continue to use those for a while. I eventually will sunset those, though, because they are messy. The code is very bad, and I don't want to have to maintain it anymore. So I would like to maintain only this new code, but I am going to leave them up for a little bit of a transition period in case there are some quirks with the new stuff that I need to work out. So if you get a chance, definitely check out those and let me know how they're working for you. All right, so those of you who have made it this far, we're going to give out some merch. So I'm going to give you guys a hashtag, and if you want a chance at some merch, just leave a comment below with that hashtag, and we'll grab one of you and send you over a gift card to get some SS2 merch. And that hashtag today is thanks, Sidante. Hashtag thanks, Sidante, because he rocks. He put together this. I will remind you, please don't just spam me with hashtags, though. Put something else in there, too. Give me a story about Sim Settlements, something you love about it, something you hate about it. Tell me a bug. Tell me something just fun to read, more than just the hashtag. And I'll read through all those comments and pull those out and send somebody some merch. All right, guys. With all that said, take care and enjoy the mods.